Welcome to Talking Crue, the unofficial Motley Crue podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Humphrey, where I talk all things in the world of Motley Crue. This is episode 99 this week, Sixx radio show review. But first, this week in Motley news, a little bit of it this week. Motley Crue celebrated the 43rd anniversary to what I call the icon song, Livewire, on Monday, August the 18th, 1982. Also, happy 41st anniversary. Nikki posted a original poster from the Monsters of Rock Festival in 1984. Check this out. Gary Moore, Y&T, Accept, Motley Crue, Ozzy, Van Halen, and AC/DC. What a show that would have been. John 5 posted a reminder for the meet and greet packages that at the Vegas shows for the Motley Crue residency. There's a photo session, a John 5 t-shirt, a John 5 poster, laminate, logo bag, and a guitar pick. Check out john5.com for those. Happy 18th anniversary to the Sixx:A.M. album, The Heroin Diaries, released August the 21st, 2007. I talk about The Heroin Diaries on episode 87. Nikki Sixx did a Act 6 session. He said basically there are no plans for 2026 as of now. So who knows, they might change as the year goes down the road. He also said, don't believe people who are saying the Las Vegas shows are canceled. I saw this on Instagram, or not Instagram, but TikTok a lot, especially this buffoon that was on there. Here's my little rant here. Posting, Motley Crue canceled the shows in Vegas. No, they did not. He said they are not canceled. Nikki Sixx said that this is all clickbait, so do not fall for this. And he said the only way they will cancel these Vegas shows and the Mexico show is if a meteor crashes onto the earth, and that is the only way Motley Crue will cancel. And in fact, when he wrote that, I thought of the beginning of the movie The Disaster on the Carnival of Sins DVD. So yeah, those shows are still on. Another part of my rant of the week, I want to get into this as well, is Vince Neil. Everybody, especially on TikTok, Vince don't look good, Vince don't sound good, Vince looks like he had a stroke, Vince this, Vince that. Vince is okay. As far as I know, we have no idea what happened. I'm just happy that he's back on stage. So that's a great sign. If you ain't got nothing else to say, don't say nothing at all. So yeah, just be happy. So that's my little rant of the week. I hadn't done one of those in a while. But that's it in Motley news this week. This is episode 99, Sixx radio show review. On this week's episode, I'm going to continue on, but with the last episode of the Nikki Sixx series. I started it on episode 83, 58 Stop for a New America album review. Episode 84 was Brides of Destruction, Here Come the Brides album review. Episode 85 was Brides of Destruction, Live in Clifton Park, New York, 2004 review. Episode 86 was Nikki Sixx, The Heroin Diaries, Part 1, the book review. Episode 87 was Sixx:A.M., The Heroin Diaries, the album review. Or Part 2, the album review. Let me rewind that. Episode 88 was Nikki Sixx, Live Through This TV show review. Episode 89 was Sixx:A.M. Live is Beautiful album review. Episode 90 was Nikki Sixx, This Is Gonna Hurt Part 1, the book review. Episode 91 was Sixx:A.M. This Is Gonna Hurt Part 2, the album review. Episode 92 was Sixx:A.M. The 7 album review. Episode 93 was Sixx:A.M. Modern Vintage album review. Episode 94 was Sixx:A.M. Live in Chicago, Illinois, 2015 review. Go Cubs Go. Episode 95 was Sixx:A.M. Prayers for the Damned Volume 1 album review. Episode 96 was 6 a.m. Prayers for the Blessed, Volume 2 album review. Episode 97, sorry, there's my notes, was 6 a.m. The Hits album review. Episode 98 was Nikki Sixx, the First 21 book review. And that leads us into this week, the last episode of the Nikki Sixx series. And I thought I'd talk about some, like I said at the end of last week's episode. I think he was absolute natural at this, the Sixx Sense radio show. So let's go some info and facts on this. Nikki started the radio show on February 2010. It ran through Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to midnight. It became so popular that it spawned off a weekend show called The Side Show, where basically it was like a top 20 countdown of newer bands. The show was broadcasted to 115 radio stations in the United States, Canada. It was hosted by our boy, Nikki Sixx, and co-host Carrie Kasem from 2008 to 2014. She is actually the daughter of radio legend Casey Kasem. There we go. Got tongue-tied. I used to listen to his show every Sunday afternoon. Casey Kasem's Top 40 Countdown. Then Carrie was replaced by Gene Marino. I have no idea. Marino. From 2014 to 2017. The show ended in December of 2017. So Motley Crue had ended at the end of 2015. 6 a.m. ended in 2016, and now the radio show. Now, let's talk about the review. The discussions were topics about the music business and the rock and roll lifestyle. Plus, Nikki would throw in his advice and his experiences, his personal view on those subjects as well. There was also special guests on the show, such as Zakk Wylde from Ozzy Osbourne, Slash from Guns N' Roses, Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac, Lars Ulrich from Metallica. There's my Lars invitation there. Hailstorm, Rob Halford from Judas Priest, Joe Perry from Aerosmith, the one and only John 5 even was on here, just to name a few. Like I said, the show ran from 2010 to 2017. Nikki announced that it was the end of the show. And like I said that earlier, Motley Crue ended, 6 a.m. ended, now the radio show. He was completely retiring from everything. And I was thinking, what is going on? The next thing I know, he said he's moving to Wyoming. And I was like, okay, what's going on here? But luckily, the movie pulled him back in. So thankfully for that movie. I personally think, like I said, Nikki did an amazing job at this. It almost seemed natural for him. I would listen to this show on the website, sixsense.com, which is actually still up to this day. You can listen to the old podcasts or broadcasts of the shows, and at Sixx Sense on YouTube as well. So even all the guest stars were on it is on that website and on the YouTube page. Now, I also mentioned about the spin-off. So this was another thing. This is how popular Sixx Sense was. It had its own magazine with a CD on the back. I'm going to try and show you some of the pictures. Snippets of some of the interviews that he did. Those with Jacob Shattuck of Papa Roach, 6 a.m. Let's see, I saw one. Yeah, here's the good one. Him and Lemmy from Motorhead. Rest in peace, Lemmy. This magazine is absolutely freaking fantastic. This week I went back and looked at this, and I was like, I forgot how great this was. Now, I never listen to the CDs because I'm actually afraid I'll lose it. But just to kind of read you off who's on here. Motley Crue, the song Sixx, which was actually new at that time. Papa Roach is on here. Hell Yeah. Rest in Peace, Vinnie Paul. 6 a.m. Are You With Me Now? Deuce. Drowning Pool. Papa Roach, another song. Crossfade, another Hell Yeah song. Drowning Pool, Deuce, and Cavo, C-A-V-O. I've never really heard of them. Like I said, I've never listened to the actual CD because I'm afraid I'll lose it. But definitely get this magazine. I did see it on eBay, so go grab you one today. Alright, so that's this week's episode, the last episode of the Nikki Sixx series. So I talked about the 58 album, Brides of Destruction, which will actually come back to in a way future episode called Nikki Sixx Guest Appearances. We talked about the 6 a.m. albums, all his books, as of now, all his books. So yeah, it was a great time doing the Nikki Sixx series. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. So that brings me into homework for this week's episode. Did you listen to this show? And what do you think? Like I said, I thought it was freaking fantastic. I'll tell you a real funny story that he told on the show. He pulled a groin muscle during the final tour, and his wife Courtney begged him to go to see a doctor. It was bulging out that he would just push it back in, which had to be so painful. But he said that he went a couple of weeks without showering, and so he finally agreed to go see the doctor. And the doctor has him pull his pants down, and he's like eye level, face level with Nikki's crotch, and said, "Get a big whiff of that, doctor." But yeah, so that was just the stuff that I loved about the show. But yeah, stalkers, he talked about that, all kinds of stuff. So definitely check out sixthsense.com to go re-listen, or for the first time listen, or even go to the YouTube page. Alright, so I've rambled long enough on this. Next week is a celebration episode, a milestone, episode 100. But I do have a topic. I haven't done a ranking since the end of the Tommy Lee series, where I ranked my favorite drum solos of his. So I'm going to rank Motley Crue stage costumes from 83 to 89. So we're talking Shout at the Devil, Theater of Pain, Girls, 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 and Dr. Feelgood. Plus, like I said, it's a celebration episode. So get the balloons, cake and ice cream, which actually sounds really good right now. Put the bubbly on ice, get the confetti, the kazoos, all that stuff, invite a friend. It's going to be a great episode, a party episode. And that's it for this week. If you know anybody that's a Motley Crue fan, likes to talk about Motley Crue, hear about Motley Crue, send them this way. Hit that share button, copy the link, and send it to them. Tell them go on Google, Firefox, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and type in Talking Crue. All the episodes will pop up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button yourself. Give me a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it, and it actually helps out the podcast a whole lot, and I gratefully thank you for it. I want to thank everybody who's joined Talking Crue on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify. Everybody who gives me thumbs up and does homework questions, I love that as well. And that's it. I will see you guys next Friday for episode 100. Phew, I can't believe I said that. Episode 100. And you just took a ride on the wild side.